Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to talk about the price you have to pay for life-changing market returns. I think you all know that nothing in life comes for free. You have to pay a price for anything that you want. Sometimes you pay the price in terms of currency, that could be dollars, euros or any other currency, and sometimes you pay it in terms of your time or any other thing that you share. For example, if you want to buy a camera, you pay in dollars and then you get the camera. If you want to browse the web, then you pay Google with your data and your browsing history. Every platform that you are using, you are paying something to get something in return. Similarly, the returns that you expect by investing in stock market also comes with a price attached to it. And in this video, we are gonna talk about what that price is. But before we go into what the price is, let us understand human psychology. Over time, we have trained our brain to react differently when it comes to fee and when it comes to fine. So whenever we have to pay a fee to avail something, we are fine with it. We can pay a fee to subscribe to a course, or we can pay a fee to subscribe to a tool which we want to use. On the other hand, we don't want to pay a fine. Whenever we hear the word fine, our brain sends us a signal that we have done something wrong and it's a punishment. For example, if you overspeed, you break a law and now you have to pay a fine as punishment. Similarly, you are not able to pay your credit card bills on time and now you have to pay fine in terms of high interest rates. And we do everything that is in our power to avoid fine. This psyche goes so deep down that every time we hear the word fine, we associate that we are being punished. Let's look at it from another perspective. So whenever you pay, you expect something in return. And if you get what you expected in return, then you feel okay or you feel good. If you get more than what you expected, then you feel really happy about it. On the other hand, when you do not get what you expected in return, then you feel sad. And in the worst case scenario, if you do not get anything in return, then you feel fear, anger and anxiety. This same mindset comes into picture when you invest in stock markets. So you invested some amount in the stock market with an expectation to get certain amount of returns. And when you do not get that return, and in worst case scenario you lose the money, then your brain triggers fear, anxiety and frustration in you. And this leads to the most common investors' behavior like panic selling or FOMOing into a stock. So what can we do about it? Well, the first step was getting aware of this phenomenon and psychology. And once you are aware of it, you can train your brain to improve and get rid of these sentiments. But before I talk about how you can do that or how you can train your brain, let's first look into the price that you have to pay for life-changing market returns. First of all, you cannot expect life-changing market returns over the long term without getting hit by downward movement of market time after time. Here is the graph that reflects that really perfectly. As you can see in this graph, from 2000 to 2019, the stock market went 10% down 11 out of 20 times. That is 55% of the times. But in the same period, the stock market tripled in value. So if you have invested your sum in 2010, your sum would have tripled by 2019, but you must have faced your portfolio going 10% down once every while. And this is the price that you have to pay in order to triple your money. Another price that you have to pay is the fear of losing money. Yes, I know it's easy to say invest and hold your money for long term, but staying true to the fears, the horrors of bear market and also the current situation. The market is going down, everything is red, you don't know what's going to happen in the future, and this fear, that's the price that you have to pay if you want to succeed in the stock market. The problem is, the price that I'm talking about does not come with a label. It would be so easy if someone would have said, hey, pay me $100 and you can double your money. But unfortunately, that's not the price that you have to pay to double your money. The price that you have to pay is to fight your fear and stay invested in the stock market even if it is going down. We also know a fact that the higher the price you pay, the higher the returns you can expect, at least in most cases. So for example, the price of spending a day in Disneyland is $104, and by spending your time there, you will get a lifetime memory. But you can also decide to go to another amusement park which costs you only $10, or even better, stay at home and pay nothing, and in both cases you may enjoy your time, but you get what you pay for. Similarly, when you invest in stock market, you can choose whether to invest in low risk or high risk stocks. And based on the price that you are willing to pay, you can expect the returns. At the same time, if you are not willing to pay the price, then do not expect the life-changing market returns. With that said, let's check how we can train our brain so that we can come out of this downward spiral. I call it a two-step program. The first step is to tell your brain that there is a price associated with the market return. And in the second step, you have to tell your brain again and again that the price that you are paying for the life-changing market return is not a fine, but a fee. Practice these two steps long enough and your brain will retune itself and will stop you from making decisions that will harm you in the long term. For example, panic selling during current times, not buying during current times, and the worst case is FOMOing to buy a stock. I know things will get tough in the short term, but do not quit just because it's difficult in the short term, ignoring the returns that you can get in the long term. So we are talking about paying something, getting in return, but we haven't discussed about the risk. It's not always the case that you pay for something and you get the exact thing in return. For example, the day you went for Disneyland, it rained. It will ruin your experience of Disneyland. Yes, these events happen, although they are rare, but can happen. And same goes in investing. For example, in 2020 when the corona pandemic hit us, there may be few people who wanted to retire or who wanted to take out the gains that they have made in the stock market and go on a world tour. But during 2020, they saw 50% of their gains vanished. They paid the price, they went through the horrors of bear market, they hold their investment for long term, and still an unexpected event happened and erased 50% of their capital gains. So what I'm trying to say here is you can plan all you want, but still some things are not in your hands and you cannot plan and they may catch you by surprise. So you have to pay the price if you want a life-changing market return, but at the same time, there could be events or circumstances which may catch you by surprise and which you cannot plan. Well, that was it for this video. This video was inspired by the book Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. It's a great book and I would highly recommend everyone to read it. I'll also mention the link of the book in the description down below so you can check it out.